Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, what is happening is that the accusations that Rigathi Gachagua has constantly, shared from the US have gotten certain Kenyans living in the US want to now petition the government. So, talking about petition, there's a video that has been surfacing about a Kenyan citizen who had shown intentions of going to petition the government here over all those atrocities that Rigathi Gachagua kept mentioning in the US. Rigathi has talked about many things, very many things, and we've shared them in this analysis. But first and foremost, I wanted to pay attention to this video.
Hey guys, so I am here at the Russell building. It's the senators' offices are here, American senators. I came to see two specific senators, Chris Coons and James Rich. I don't have an appointment, but I'll try, and the reason is because, if you all know, 9% of Kenya's military spending, 9% of Kenya's budget for the Ministry of Defense comes from United States, and we saw last year the military being deployed during the finance bill to kill young protesters. So I don't know, I know that's a violation of the Leahy Act. Look it up, Leahy Act. I don't know how far this will go, but tutajaribu. It's also a very risky move, in terms of neo-colonization and colonization. You don't want to be having the wrong allies, but we'll try and maneuver this properly. Yeah, and this building is super pretty. Look at that. Anyways, peace, wish me luck.
Very well, ladies and gentlemen, that is a video from a Kenyan living in the US who is also thinking of petitioning Kenya, the Kenyan government, concerning issues of abductions, concerning everything. These things have gotten the attention of the UN. I understand that they've gotten the attention of the ICC. And that was the intention of Rigathi Gachagua when he chose to expose everything from the US. And remember, he talked about Australia, he talked about France, he has talked about Germany. He has talked about exposing the government in all those countries. But take note of this. The government here is waiting for him. Now, before we explore this story further, ladies and gentlemen, because you've seen that video from the Kenyan, the intention of that Kenyan, that if it is to be actualized, that is going to expose William Ruto's government more and more. So first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, kindly take this opportunity to like this video, subscribe to our channel if you had not subscribed before, and to our existing subscribers, thank you so much for your support. Looking at what is happening and comparing William Ruto's government with Uhuru's government, Kibaki's government, Moi's government, and let's just say Jomo Kenyatta's government. This government, which has served only 3 years, has gotten multiple complaints, ladies and gentlemen. The number of petitions, the number of complaints, the international attention that the Kenyan government has gotten ever since William Ruto took over is enormous, ladies and gentlemen. So, someone once told me, an old person, that there is nothing dangerous like having a friend turned enemy. If you look at Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua, their first 2 years, rosy. All the time Ruto would go to Mount Kenya. In fact, let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, most of the trips that Ruto used to have were from Mount Kenya. He would be there in Mount Kenya almost every week, 2 times a month. He would always frequent only Mount Kenya. It will always be Mlima stories.
Na tukaambia wetu wa mlima, tumetembea Kenya, tunajua pahali naenda. Tumetembea Madera, tumetembea Kakamega, tumetembea kila pahali, tukasikiza ground. Wakenya wote walikuwa wamejipanga na William Ruto. Tukaambia wetu watu hapa katika Mount Kenya, huyu William Ruto huyu ndio Wakenya wanataka akuwe rais, na ako na maono na ako na mpango, na sisi hatutaki kwenda kwa opposition.
Back then, him and Rigathi Gachagua were like cousins. Just say like twins, you know. To put it as twins is better than cousins. You know, cousins can be, can be having conflicts, but it's rare to find twins having conflicts. So that is what used to happen back then. But if you look at the relationship now, because of course, if Rigathi Gachagua has all those information and he can share them like the way he did, it means there is an insider in the government. It means Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua shared a lot of secrets back then, you know. It means Rigathi Gachagua has a dangerous weapon that can bring down William Ruto's government. Now let's focus on this petition, because now petitions are going to be launched. Remember, DCP set office in the US. That means DCP is going to have following. And of course, there's also going to be a leader there. So most of the time, these people in the US are going to be petitioning the government, because already that's what Rigathi Gachagua told them. Look here, you people need to petition and petition and petition. So if the petitioning thing is what is going to happen, it means Rigathi Gachagua, the plan is beginning to work. So of course we know what the Senate said. The Senate already made an indication, the Senate in the US made an indication that they are going to review the issue of the non-NATO major ally status, and we shared that in our previous videos, you know, and that was like, that if that should be done, it's going to be like a very huge setback to Kenya, the relationship between Kenya and the US. But of course we saw the delegation that paid William Ruto a visit. They confirmed that the relationship between the US and Kenya is still intact. So that was a promise that was given to the Kenyan government. But of course, even Rigathi Gachagua, after exposing the government, went further to say that the Kenyan is not supposed to be punished. The person who is supposed to be punished is the president. So, ladies and gentlemen, based on this petition that was to be launched yesterday from the Kenyan live in the US, what do you have to say about it? Is that the right move for people to petition the government in the US? Are they exposing the government? Now, what about the neo-colonialism? Why about the colonialism? What about the colonizers of this era? You know, if we subject Kenya to, you know, the Americans, the American to manage our affairs, and that being something contrary to the beliefs of Pan-Africanism, because African nations now, they want to be independent. You know, I agree with the Rigathi Gachagua. He has a right to, you know, speak up, but, you know, subjecting Kenya to Americans, that's another problem so far, because if you look at the Africans, what has been happening, you know, we are trying to be self-reliant kidogo, at least hatuwezi ndio, lakini kidogo hivi naona. So tukipelekwa kule kwa Amerika, wewe msikilizaji unaonaje? Nataka uende tu hapo chini kwa comment section na unieleze unaonaje kwa ile swala la Amerika, kila saa Amerika. We've not seen any nation in Africa that does that. So hii mambo ya America. So perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.